Jim from the Pain PT. Good to see everybody today. I have another success story. I know you guys love success stories. They're super important to people's healing journey. And I have Andrea here. Andrea, how you doing?
Good, and you? Everything good, Jim. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, we're just saying off air. I'm just so appreciative for you to come on and share your story. Every story helps other people. And I know we talked about it when you were going through your own recovery that you'll probably talk about this. You really are saying, I'm going to be a success story. I want to be a success story. And now here you are. So it's
Yes.
pretty cool to see that. And I'm going to turn it over to you and have you share your story.
Okay, sure. Thank you again for having me, Jim. So, like you said, it was like a long journey and it was something really unexpected. Like it caught me out of guard. Well, like everything, like when I was at college, like I used to have like pains in here and there, and they stick for a long time. One time I had like back pain that it lasted for almost 2 years and nobody could tell me what it was. So because I was going through a lot of stress and changes, I was living in Taiwan at that time. And at that time I had to plan for my future because I had to go back to I'm from El Salvador. So I had to go back to El Salvador, and it will be like a huge change because I was used to live alone and then go back to live with my mom. And I have history with my mom, so a lot of trauma there. So yeah, it was super bad. So I was just having like this back pain. And I went to so many hospitals and so many doctors, and they couldn't tell me what it was. They thought like no, they told me like no, it's in your head, like you don't have anything. They put me like in anxiety pills and also gabapentin that time as well. So, but then one day it just went away. I was just like I went through surgery too by that time, and then after surgery, they told me like after surgery you're gonna be fine, but it was something totally different. They
What
told
kind
me
of
that
surgery did they do? Just curious.
yeah, I they said that I have like it's myomectomy, I think it's called, because I had like myoma. I don't know if you call it like that. It's like a cyst that you have on the wound or something that it was pressed in my back or something. But most of the women like on my age they have it and they don't have symptoms. So it was just like I was just wondering like okay, they remove it.
And it didn't
then
help.
after that. Yeah, they didn't know. Like honestly, like I went through so many doctors, like pain doctors, like gynecologists, and they said like maybe it's that. Like we're just gonna remove it and you're gonna be good. Like you're gonna feel fine. So
So nobody at this
um
point was even entertaining the idea that it could be your brain or nervous
nothing,
system.
nothing.
Yeah. And what
They
kind of
they don't even
symptoms?
know.
No,
Mhm.
I know. What kind of, just so the audience knows, what kind of symptoms you were having back then with the back pain? What were your symptoms?
I was just like I couldn't sit down for a long time. I couldn't stand up for a long time. So like even laying down was really painful for me. So like I was just having anxiety, like I was having panic attacks all the time because I was like thinking this is gonna be my life forever. So it was like super exhausting because I was like 24 at that age. So I was like, how is this happening to me? Like this has never happened to me before. And I had never had any injury or any sort of anything. So you can say like, okay, maybe she hurt her back or something. So nothing.
That's
So it was
crazy. And that just shows you how our medical system is lacking. Nobody asks you any questions. Hey, what did you do? Oh, you did nothing. Nobody asked about your
yeah.
family history, like you said, trauma. And that's what we're missing in medicine. So you went around and around for how long was that episode? A couple of years?
Oh, yes, it was 1 year and a half. And I went through a lot of tests, testing, neurological testing. I had MRIs, I had like X-rays, everything. Like I went to PT for I don't know how long, and it didn't do anything for me, like anything. So after the surgery, I don't know, it was like at some point, like one doctor told me you're gonna be fine, and then I guess my brain clicked and my brain like went back to normal and it was like okay you're gonna be fine and then I was fine, so I was like this is weird. So
So at that point, when you got through that episode, you didn't know much about this work yet. You just had,
nothing,
yeah,
nothing,
okay, nothing.
nothing.
So that
Yeah,
one,
like
that eventually
yeah.
went away.
Yeah, it went away. So like I came, like I moved because I met my husband during that period. So like I moved from Taiwan to United States. So then a couple of years passed, and then I had this like on 2019, like I started as an insurance agent. So it's a kind of a stressful job. But during that time I was fine, you know, like and then corporation went through some changes after COVID because they were having issues, financially issues. So they said like, you know, we're gonna change some structures on the commission and we're gonna make any changes in the corporation, and then that's when everything started. So I went to Greece for vacation, and that was on 2022, if I'm not mistaken. And then when I came back, I started experiencing like UTI symptoms. So, but burning, right? Like, and that never happened to me before because I don't tend to have UTI. So, like, it was like maybe it's like I didn't drink water, or maybe when I was in Greece, like, I sat down in a toilet that was dirty or something. So I went to the gynecologist, and that time, like, she was super, she dismissed me. Like, she was like, no, you don't have anything. Like, I'm gonna run some tests, and I'm gonna give you some like medicine or antibiotics, I think it's called, like, and you're gonna be good to go. So then after I don't know, like during that period, I don't know what happened, but there was a lack of communication with me and the nurse, and they didn't give me the medicine. So I was good for 1 month. Like I didn't even have symptoms, and I totally forgot about the medicine. So like that was in October. So November, um, I was good in October. I didn't have any symptoms, but then in November, I started having burning symptoms again. And I was just like, what is this? Like, this is weird. So then I couldn't sit down because I was having pelvic pain, which is like something that I had never experienced before. And I was just like, what is this? Like, I was panicking. And then I want, because like that's another thing, like I tend to be like, well, like I'm not anymore because I went through the process to relax about like any kind of symptom, because if you go to internet and then you start reading, it's gonna tell you, Google doctor is gonna tell you that you have cancer. So I started having like phobia because I thought like, oh my God, maybe this is something else. Like, why am I having this burning symptoms? Like, why am I having pain when I'm sitting down? This is super weird. So like I went again to another doctor, and by that time they run some tests and they told me like, yeah, you have a UTI. Maybe the first time they didn't treat it well, or you didn't take the medicines that they gave you. And I was like, yeah, I didn't take anything because I don't know. In the middle, like I lost communication with the nurse and I didn't take anything. So they said like, okay, we're gonna give you antibiotics and you're gonna be good in 1 week. So I took the medicine, I took everything, and then after 1 week, nothing. Like still, I had symptoms, and I was like, "What is going on?" Then, me, as I know myself, I went through internet, and I'm start seeing all this craziness about what is it called? Like when you have like chronic illness, there's a name of it, like for UTIs whenever it doesn't go away, like pelvic
Recurrent,
pain.
recurrent
Yeah,
UTIs or
yeah, but there is something else. I don't remember what is the name. But it's like UTIs and it doesn't go away. So they were saying that the symptoms that you're gonna have to live your life like that. So,
wow.
and I was just like, yeah,
How did
how
that
is it
make you
called?
feel at the time?
Cis, yeah, I was like panicking, like honestly, because at this point I was like, what the hell? Like, I cannot live my life like that. How is it gonna be my life like this? Like, and then they were saying something else, like there's this thing like where like the bacteria never goes away and they stick on the wall of your like I don't know, like it was
Just
crazy. Like,
terrible messages, right? Scaring the crap out of you even further.
yeah, and there is people that they go to this specialist in London, and I was even planning to go there because they give you antibiotics for 2 or 3 years that you need to take because they said that is like these bacteria that they never go away. So I was just considering at one point because it was like I was having so much pain. So I was just like, okay, no, like I'm gonna go to London. I don't care. And then after this happened, like I went to like I was talking to my mom, and my mom is a person that is not good to talk to because she was putting more panic, like she was putting more ashes to the like burn, and she was making it worse. She was telling me like, come to El Salvador, we're gonna take you to a specialist. So I went to a specialist in El Salvador, and I went back to more antibiotics. Like I was into antibiotics for very strong antibiotics for almost 2 weeks, like IV antibiotics. And then after the treatment was done, I don't know, like it was hell. Like I had to go to ER because I had this burning pain in my pelvic area that I have never felt before. And I was just like, this is like, I was crying, I was panicking. And I called the doctor and I told him, like, but you told me that I'm clear, like, I don't have any bacteria. So what is going on? And he said, like, we're gonna do some x-rays and we're gonna take some MRIs because it might be that you have stones on your kidney because this is the normal kind of pain that you have when you have stones on your kidneys and stuff. Then I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, let's take image and see what's going on. And everything came back clear. Like I didn't have anything. So the doctor was like, at this point, like, I don't know what to do with you because if a patient comes to me and they have clear images and they told me that they're having this pain, I'm gonna think they're crazy. That's what he told me. And I was like,
Mm.
what?
So he went from thinking, okay, something's wrong with the maybe stones to calling you crazy, basically. Which is
Yeah,
again, well,
exactly.
that's the whole thing, right? It's all in your head, which is a bad connotation. Yeah. So how did that affect you?
It was horrible. Like, because at this point I was like suffering a lot and they didn't have an answer. You expect that the medical system has the answers and they tell you what to do and what is going to be the next step. And at this point, I was like, I will never heal. Like, this is going to be my life from now on. And I was even thinking, like, I might be disabled for life because this is something that is unbearable. Like I cannot sit down. And then after that, like I start reading on the internet again, and I see a lot of women saying like, yeah, they have been going through this pelvic pain forever, that they had another symptoms. And then after I read that, my brain started having these symptoms as well. Like I was having itchiness down there, like I was constantly going to the restroom, and I was just like, I didn't have this
Yeah, and
symptom
that's like for
before.
people listening, that's what we call the nocebo effect, right? But you at the time didn't know any of this. At this point, you didn't know anything about mind body. You were still, you can
Exactly.
imagine somebody like yourself being stuck in this physical world, not knowing what's wrong with you, right? You're getting more symptoms, not understanding this at all, right?
Yeah, like I was just like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know what to do. So I was like, Mom, I need to go back to States and see like research and see like if I can find a specialist. Then I came back and then I found somebody that she's really good. Like honestly, like she never treated me, she never dismissed me as a specialist in New York. That I went there because she's like a specialist in pelvic pain. But I had spent so much money on treatments and it didn't do anything for me. I went to pelvic pain like PT. Um, it did something, but honestly, it, like the pain came back. So at this point, like she told me, like the specialist in New York told me, like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you Botox. I went through Botox. I went to through pills. Like they gave me gabapentin. That it gave me a lot of side effects. Like I gained like 20 pounds. So it was horrible. Like I was like, oh my God, I can't. I was crying every single day. So
This was
in this,
how long into it now? Now you're talking how long into this?
maybe 7 months.
7 months.
So
Okay.
yeah, 7 months into my journey, and then I found like again on internet that it might be that I'm eating acidic food. So and that's the reason why my body is like maybe peeing is burning when I'm peeing or something like that. So I went to a change in my diet. Like I removed the gluten out of my diet. So I did everything. So I was like desperate at this point. Like I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And the specialist back in New York kept telling me like it was pelvic dysfunction, like pelvic floor dysfunction. So she was like, you shouldn't be worried because you're gonna get better. There's a lot of people that gets better, but I wasn't seeing any improvement to be honest to be honest with you with my symptoms. And then at one point, like I don't know where, like on internet, I think again, in one of these groups that I was online on Facebook, which is bad. Like I don't recommend anybody to join in any Facebook groups when you're on this kind of like pains and stuff because it's worse. Like people, they just make you panic and they just wanna like you just wanna cry when you see these horror stories on internet. Like they were saying like they have been like this for 7 years, 10 years, that they have to quit their job, that they have to put a pause on their life. I was like, oh my gosh, like I was crying.
All negative
Yeah,
information. Yeah.
exactly. So at one point, like I don't know where, like I found this app that is from Alan Gordon. So and then I don't know, one person in the group was saying like I tried this, the mind body connection, and it actually improved my pain. But I think this person was having back pain or something like that, and I was like, well, I don't lose anything. I should try. And then I bought the book from Alan Gordon, so then I started like kind of understanding what was going on. But I was like, I cannot do it myself. And then I went to YouTube and I found you, and you have a very similar like success story. And it was a lady, I don't remember her name, but she had like a success story. And it was like almost the same as me. And I was like, well, like I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna like connect with you. Then I did connect with you, and then we went through the process. And I started understanding like it was like a lot of stuff from my past. Cause like I said, like I went through a lot of like physical trauma when I was a child. So I did understand that my brain sometimes is in alert that I shouldn't be. So yeah, and also like I remember there was when I went to Costa Rica, by the way, to get treated. Like I found a doctor in Costa Rica as well. Like I had to travel to Costa Rica. And then it was the first time that urologist told me like, you don't have anything. It's like kind of, he told me like, it's when you put your hand on the fire and you just have to take it out because your brain has an alert, but actually you're not getting like burned. So I think that that's what's going on with you. So it might be some kind of like brain thing where your system is like high alert. So I was just like, okay, but I didn't understand at that point because I didn't even know about this work. So
But that was the
yeah,
first foray into something different, which is great. The doctor was
yeah,
that all in Costa Rica, right? The doctor was
yeah,
aware
in Costa Rica,
of the
yeah.
brain, which is pretty awesome to see.
Hmm. Yeah, that was the first time like somebody told me. Then the other doctors, they was just giving me pills, treatments, uh, injections that they were really painful. I cannot tell you how much I did suffer with Botox. So like, and it will be so like at this point I'm seeing, and it will be so easy like to start this treatment instead of going through this painful journey and stuff. So yeah, like I mean, it was crazy. Like it was really, really crazy. But yeah, I found you and we went through the process of mind body connection, and I start doing some yoga and also meditations. And I did try to make the journal stuff, but it didn't work for me, to be honest with you, because I read someplace like if you kind of put your emotions in paper and it's gonna go away, but it didn't really work.
Yes,
So
that's good to
I was like,
highlight because everybody has different things that help them. So if we highlight the fact that you did a little bit of journaling, right, but it didn't you didn't see any results from the journaling in particular. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, correct. So what it helped me the most, it was you going through your sessions, to be honest with you, and also watching the success stories and like kind of like putting on my mindset that this will be some that there's no danger in here. Like I was good. Like I started living like after like a couple of months, like I think we went with you for 6 months with these sessions and stuff. And then one day I decided like I wouldn't give a damn. Like I was like, this is it. I don't care if I have symptoms. Like I'm gonna start living my life. And the first step that that I took that it was really important to me was like going back to Peloton because that's something that I really enjoy, like cycling and going to the gym. And I stopped doing that for 1 year almost because like I had so much pain. And then that was the first step. Like the first day that I went back to ride my bike, it was really painful, but I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna keep pushing. Like that was the mindset that really helped me to go forward. So,
Yeah,
and
I
then
remember
one
that
day,
you made that
yeah,
switch. You decided, I said, you can do this and there's nothing wrong with you. And we talk, right? We talk about some of the things, the reasons why this could be. And I said, you can do anything. And so you finally made the decision. And I remember that was part of your recovery. I think that helped you where you got really motivated and you said, I don't care. There's nothing wrong with me. You got very decisive in what you told your brain. Once you figured it out, like, I'm doing this, right? Let's go. And I just remember you starting to do more and more, right? But as you'll tell through your journey, it didn't go away like right away when you started that.
no, it didn't. It didn't. And honestly, like, but I wasn't being fixated by the fact that I was sick or that I had a chronic illness. I wasn't putting any label because that is something very important whenever you're going through this. Like I have seen people on internet saying like I have this. I'm suffering from pelvic pain. I'm suffering from I don't know, like the other terms. So and they put a label on it, but honestly, like if you want to recover, you shouldn't. Like you don't have anything. It's just like your brain is perceiving danger that is not there. So like until I understood how pain actually works because of you, then I started understanding like a lot of stuff. And I was just like, no, this is not gonna kill me. Like I'm gonna keep living my life. And then at one point, like my sister came from Costa Rica to visit me here in Virginia. So and I remember we went to the mall and I was like, it was really painful when I was walking in the mall. But I start talking to my brain like, brain, you're not gonna do this to me. Like, I'm gonna enjoy my life. I don't care. And then guess what happened? After 1 hour of walking, it just went away. Like I was without pain. And then that was the real proof to me
Yeah, the
that there
evidence.
was nothing physical going on. So
That's right. You got to, when you get those little reprieves or a breakthrough like that, or right, it's an evidence. It's indisputable, right? You did a mind body process. You talked to your brain. You got very firm and decisive, right? And you told your brain what you thought, which is the truth. The brain quieted down. And you're like, wow, okay. So that was, yeah, that was like a springboard for you at that point to move forward.
yes, exactly. And like I said, not listening to anybody on internet, that was like another step that you helped me going through because I know that there's a lot of support groups out there that they don't tend to like I know that they don't want to harm you, but at the end they do harm you because you keep on your mind that you're sick and this is gonna be your life forever. So yeah, like I was like I'm out of this, I'm out of here, and I'm not gonna be entertaining this anymore. And then step by step like it just started fading by time over and over again. I was just like, yeah, that was the thing. And then I started understanding like those pains that I had in the past, it was actually my brain. And it was, yeah, it was nothing, it wasn't physical. And right, and like you told me too, like to trust my body. Like I trust so much my body right now. Like the body is gonna heal whatever you have. Like if you have any injury, it's gonna heal. Like there is no way. Like even for UTIs, like you told me too. Like okay, Andrea, like they're gonna give you antibiotics and it's gonna go away. So I started learning that, and I started like not being scared of my body and not being so hateful with my body too, because that was something that I learned through this process as well. Like I had so many issues with my body image, like where like I hated it so much when I look at myself in the mirror, and I start being like, no, Andrea, you're beautiful. Like yeah, your body is perfect. Like you don't need to please anybody. Like you just need to care about yourself, and you need to love yourself.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
me pause for a minute. That's amazing because that's self-compassion and that's also self empowerment and confidence. And like that's mitigating shame, right? We talked about that's one of the powerful emotions that people deal with is that shame coming in, that I don't look good, I'm not enough. So you started to counter that with a very affirmative messages, which was so awesome to see, right? Just like you started to counter the idea I can't do this or do that, you started to do those things. So you really took it in the right direction, making
yeah.
these changes.
Yeah, exactly. Like I did so many changes, but after like I had this pelvic pain, of course, like it will linger into something else, but I wasn't scared anymore. So sometimes I get like twitches here and there, like maybe back pain. The other day, like I had this weird pain in like that's my tailbone, and I was just like, what the hell is, but I was like, take it easy, Andrea, it's gonna go away. And yeah, it did. So, like sometimes the brain, like, it just wanna protect you from something. And when you're done with something, like it might take you to something else, but just have to be very firm and be like, no, this is not something that is going on with my body. There is nothing physical. I did even go through MRI where they checked my whole body and I didn't have anything. So I was just like, okay, this is the proof. This
Yeah,
there's nothing physical here.
that's right.
So
You had the proof. And we worked together for a while and I remember ups and downs, like that's typical. You would remember go away sometimes on vacation and holidays and you would feel good, no pain. That was more evidence. And then it would come up again around work or something else. You'd talk to your mother, right? And the pain would so we would see the connection between stress and pain. I think
yeah,
you made a job change too, right? So during the process, you
yeah.
switched jobs, which was less stressful for you.
Yeah, I did switch my job from corporation to a local place in here. So it's less stressful because corporations tends to be kind of like corporations. So yeah, I did that change. But at the end of the day, like I was like, now I realize like everyone has stress and it doesn't have to hurt. So like it doesn't mean that because I'm having a bad day, like I'm gonna have pelvic pain again. So no, like I'm just like it's gone. Like now, like it's gone. So I don't have any pain, anything. It was like a long process, but I think at the end of the day, like I did learn a lot because that took me to self-love and it was like I'm grateful at the end of the day because I found you too. So you helped me a lot through this process. Like I couldn't be more thankful about the work that you do because you do help a lot of people and you give hope to so many people because there is out of like a lot of misinformations out there like and I hate to see on the medical system that we don't have this kind of like information like I don't know if they receive like pain courses or something but it seems not like I
No,
went to
not
ER so
yet.
many times and
I know
now
it's really, I hear so much of it. It's really disturbing that we have this. It's slowly changing. I just recently got a email from a patient I helped, and he's friends with this doctor, and they reached out to me, and he said, "What are you doing? And we want to talk to you." And so present what you do with people to our six doctors in Baltimore. And I go, okay. Yeah, because the doctors aren't up to on this. So most medical professionals are all about the body. Like you said, everything that was done to you was about the body. You mentioned one doctor out of all the people who finally said, this is your sensitization, this is your brain. So that is not enough people. So
yeah.
it's unfortunate. And all the people in the message boards and the groups are all stuck because, you know, because mainly the doctors are need to drive this. They need to have the understanding because people trust doctors and they believe doctors. And that needs to change. So luckily you found this work. And I remember one part of the process, it was tell the audience a bit about the stopping that you made that decision to finally stop the physical therapy. I think it was at the beginning of this year. You were still kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, last year, like you remember I asked you like, hey James, should I keep going? But you told me no, like you're fine. Like, and if you keep telling your brain that there's something wrong and you keep with the treatments, then there is not gonna be any improvement. So I took the step further, like, and it was really hard. Like I was like, maybe I'm not gonna improve because I'm quitting the physical PT, the pelvic pain PT thing, and then I stopped, and suddenly like nothing happened. Like you said, like I was fine. And that was one of the things too. Like I stopped all the treatments. Like I stopped taking pills, I stopped going to the doctor. So yeah, like that was one thing that really helped me out a lot. So
Yeah, that's important to know because a lot of people are doing things, and I always tell people, look, try something. If it doesn't work, and if you tried a lot of things, it's not likely going to work because it's the problems in your brain, not your body. And what we found in the research now is that those they call them safety behaviors or things we do, even treatments could be forms of like treating the body. They actually can make it worse. So that's where like the
mhm.
physical therapy is keeping you stuck because it's telling you something's wrong with you and they're treating the wrong thing. They're treating your body when there's nothing wrong in your body. There's just a process happening in your brain, right? So it can mess people up even though they think it's going to help them.
Yeah, no, and honestly, like it's there's not like that's not life because for this kind of disease that they said like you need to make a lot of changes like diet changes, you need to go to pelvic floor therapist, you need to take pills. I have seen like in this group of people like women that have been with this thing for 25 years and they never heal. So you might wonder like that is not a bacteria, that is something that is going on in the brain like. So, and also like I heard so much about like nervous system dysfunction, blah, blah. So then that kind of rang the bell and I started like searching for this work as well. So, but yeah, like no, honestly, like I don't think there is nothing physical in this. Like it's more that your brain is perceiving danger where it's not. So yeah, and all those
That's
things
what
like back pain, blah blah. So I just believe that is the brain. So
But now you really believe it because you're
yeah.
getting better, right? That
No,
and
and it was really hard. Nobody believed me. Like honestly, like I told people, Jim, and now, like till now, like I tell people, like, no, there's nothing wrong with you, but they don't believe me. There's like people like they think they're like a liar, and they don't want to believe me at all.
hey, isn't
So
that the
it's
most
really
incredible
hard.
thing? This is why this work is so hard. The medical system, nobody gives it any credence. And then if you actually get better, nobody believes you. They don't want to hear you tell you. And I've had people in other groups, like these Facebook groups, they get better from this work and they say, hey, you know what I did? This, and they're like, oh, no, no, we don't want to hear. And they get banned from the group. So there's so much resistance to this, which is so crazy because this is how you get better. And yet it's so hard to convince people, doctors, the patients, that this is going on. So there's a lot of resistance to this, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that they don't try to do this because honestly, this is the only thing that is gonna work. Yeah. So, but yeah, yeah, that's my story. And honestly, like I said, these stories, like the recovery stories, are so helpful because I did hear so many of the success stories that you have on your YouTube channel, and that was the only thing that really helped me out through the journey as well. Because I was like you said, I'm gonna be that person one day. So I
We
was so
kept saying
excited.
that, and that's what I want to highlight to the audience. When I said when you made
Yeah,
a decision, and I told you, I said you're going to be a success story, and here's the reason why. Everybody listening, because you said it yourself. You said I'm going to be a success story. That
yeah,
determination and that decision, you make a decision that actually directs you forward. It's like a little, it's telling you which way you're going to go, and that's very important. And I knew you were going to get better because you had that. You said I'm going to get better from this, and here
yeah,
you are better from this. You had to do some of
yeah.
the processes and some of the work, but yeah. And to highlight back that the brain, that this, like you said, trauma from childhood, it skews the brain more towards threat and danger. Basically, we pick things up and it gets overblown and it causes stuff in the body. it's because we have a sensitive system, or, emotions can run strong, or we don't express emotions. So there's lots of reasons, but basically, like you said, it's about threat and danger. But the thing is, it's not in your body. It's just from a brain that feels that way. And once you realize that and tell your brain, hey, I'm safe, we're fine, we're secure, things start to calm down, right? And it took time. Like, how long was the whole process, would you say, to get to where you are now?
To get better, like I feel like it was like 7 to 8 months.
Yeah,
Yes.
of doing
So
this work.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, yeah. And like you said, like traumas cause so many things. Like you don't put boundaries to people too. So because you're trying to be the good person. And do you remember I asked you like why does mean people they don't suffer from these pains? Because like we try to please people, like we don't put like ourselves first. And that is something that trauma people tend to have. And I feel that that's one of the reasons too. Like we experience so many of this stuff because we don't put boundaries, we don't put ourselves first, we don't love ourselves, and that put in danger. Like the brain is like, stop. I'm gonna, you're gonna put a stop, a boundary, or I'm gonna put the boundary. So
Yeah,
here
I
you
want to
are.
put the
So
pain in you to put a boundary to you. You're gonna stop anyway, either way.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly,
so true.
exactly.
And we did work on that too, so people understand.
Mhm.
I had you do some stuff with around your mother. We talked about that. I think you even had a phone call with her. I remember
Yeah,
you
yeah.
confronted her in a way to
Mhm.
really talk to her in a different way than how you used to be, right, as a child.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was like, I'm not a kid anymore. Like I'm an adult. I'm not gonna be scared of her anymore because I was scared of her before. Like I was like, I talked to you like I was an adult of 32 years old and I was scared of my mom. Like I was like, what is going on here? So, but now, like, yeah, it changed my perception thanks to you. We're like, yeah, I'm an adult. Like I shouldn't be scared of her anymore. Like why should I be scared? Like I should put boundaries because she's my mom, but I'm her kid and she needs to respect me as well. So yeah, you're right. So yeah,
Yeah, that
there
that
was a
helped
lot.
you. That's that strength, right? Like the boundaries and like as an adult. And that's the same thing you did with your symptoms. You're saying, hey, we're like you're very firm. We're safe. There's nothing wrong with me. Because I remember that was you had started talking like that. And for people listening, you got pretty firm with your brain, didn't you? You were kind
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
compassionate, but you're also pretty straight up with your brain, weren't you?
Yeah, 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 I was like you said, like I was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna enjoy. And then I feel like it gave up. Like it was like this lady is not scared anymore. Like my brain was like, okay, let her be at peace. So that's what I felt at the end. Like, okay, let's make her at peace. Like she's not gonna have any more pain. And exactly, it happened like that. Like at one point, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have any more pain, any more symptom. I'm living my life right now. Like I'm like now, if I get a twitch or a pain, I'm just like, I'm gonna be better. And next day, I'm okay. Like yeah, I'm not scared of of any pain anymore. Like pelvic pain, no, like I got over it. So
And you're not flinching, you're not going down the rabbit hole of the fear.
no,
In a way, like
no,
you said, this trauma, it parallels the process with your mom. Like you said, you were scared of your mom for all these years, 32 years, and you stood up to her and you developed. And in the same way, you stood up to the pain. So there's a parallel process happening there in your brain where the threat and danger came down because you weren't scared of your mom anymore, which may have been playing into the pain at some subconscious level, right? So your fear just
yeah,
came down. You brought the fear and anxiety down, and that's what brought this whole thing down, right? It created safety in your brain.
yeah, exactly. Like you said, yeah, it was a process, but finally everything settled down and yeah, like it makes me think like I wasn't living my life to the fullest, but now like I don't care. Even when I was on vacation, like I still had pain. Some like I remember I went to Mexico and during that period, because we already booked our flights with my husband. So and I was just like thinking on the plane that time because I was starting the process. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna walk and I couldn't even walk. Like I felt like I was burning like all the time. And I was like, I'm gonna have to use the restroom, it's gonna be hell. I wasn't enjoying my vacations at all. Like I was thinking, what is gonna happen? But then the second time I went on vacation, I wasn't expecting anything because you told me like, Andrea, you shouldn't be worried. You're gonna be fine. Just enjoy. And then second time, I think I went to, I don't remember. I went to Costa Rica or something.
Something, yeah.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't care. Like if I have symptoms, let it be. Like whatever. So
Let it be. That's it.
yeah,
See, the idea, and everybody listening, you're getting the message from you that I don't care. You separate it from it.
yeah,
It doesn't matter anymore. So that was
yeah.
huge. And then it doesn't come as much, or if it does, it goes down a lot quicker.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like you're gonna be fine. Like you're gonna find a way. So yeah, like I was like, no, I'm not gonna be scared anymore. So yeah, it did help me a lot. And like I said, like reading the books as well, like understanding where the pain is coming from, because it's not generated from the part of your body, it's coming from the brain. So that's a huge thing. Like I was like a huge like up like my eyes like open like this because like I was like, wow, like I cannot believe all this time thinking that the pain is coming from one organ or the piece of your body, but no, actually it's the brain. So
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
don't like you said,
incredible.
like I don't understand at this point like how if the community, the medical community is not making more research about this. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
amazing.
mind blowing when we talk about this. Every day I'm mind blown myself. And it's like, wow, here we are, 2024, so much technology. And we're missing one of the biggest things. It's still the biggest secret in medicine. And I think
Mm-hmm.
part of it is that we scan every other part of the body except for the brain. We don't do brain scans. We do them in research. They cost a lot of money. And there was an article about this that they need to start doing them. And when we start doing brain scans, we're going to see that's when I think things are going to change because they'll say, oh, we don't see anything in your back, but we see your brain has your, let's say your emotional brain is overactivated. Are you stressed? And do you having stress? Oh, we see your cortex is weakened. Okay. So we could see the changes. And I've had a few people who have actually got the brain scans done. And one of them I was talking to the other day and I said, hey, your cortex gets weak. And he says, you know what? That's what they told me. I said, I got a brain scan. And they said my cortex shriveled down. And it was weak. I go, yeah, that's what happens. But we don't scan that in people. And your
Yeah.
cortex, when you're go through trauma, limbic brain is so strong, gets strong, strong, strong. And the cortical brain, which is your thinking mind, executive mind, gets weak. And what you did as part of your recovery, like this is the way you're talking. You started talking to yourself. You started taking control. I don't care. We're going, we're doing this, we're safe. That's the cortex taking control. And then that
Mhm.
starts to quiet down the other emotional brain more. You get more of a balance in your brain. So if we could do brain scans, I think we would change medicine, but we're not there yet. Insurance isn't covering
Yeah,
that.
exactly, exactly. And also like they just prescribe you pills like they're candies. And it's just like they give you so many side effects that they don't even understand. Like I was tired all the time with the these pills. I gained so much weight. And at this one point, like like I don't remember one doctor wanted to give me Oxycontin, and I was just like reading all this craziness about like pills. And I was like, no, I don't want to take this pain meds. Like, no, like, no, 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 no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think like there's so much lack of information and research in the medical community. Even in the ER, they don't know how to treat you. They treat you like you're crazy. Like, I regret that I spent so much money. I went like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times to ER, and they were so dismissive. Like, they said, like, no, you don't have anything. I don't see anything. If we don't see anything physical on the exams, like we cannot prescribe you anything. So
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
the
they don't
medicine,
even
the
know.
doctors are good for that, a reason alone. Rule out anything really bad. And so you got all the answers, but what the problem is, they don't know what to do with you then. If they don't see anything wrong, they have no idea. And they'll just say, oh, well, we don't know, or you're crazy, or there's some, they have no idea. And so that sometimes more anxiety comes up for the person because, gosh, nobody knows
Exactly.
what's wrong with me. What's wrong with me? Nobody knows. And so it can get worse, for some people.
Yeah, that's what I used to say. Like I'm a unique person because I always get pains that nobody else have. So, but now I'm just like no, like I think totally different. Like I'm a very positive person. So this is like oh my God, like why God is giving me, and that's the thing. Like I was like God is giving me all this pain because He is punishing me, blah blah. So, but no, like I don't think like that anymore. Like no, so
Good. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a false belief, right? And
Yeah, it
I
is.
can feel that way. And also just to highlight for people listening, look, everything you got over was severe. You had severe different symptoms, burning, pains, right? Lots of different sensations, strong symptoms, and they were not caused by your body. So just to really
Yeah.
highlight the idea that you can have any symptom sensation and it can be so powerful and strong and it could still be just your brain. It's incredible
Mhm.
to think that. So don't think that just because you have a strong pain in your body, right? It has to be something wrong in your body.
No, and let me tell you something, James, stronger than having cancer. Like, honestly, like that pain, like I have never felt that pain in my life. And some people said, like I was reading the other day, like the mind body connection that sometimes is stronger than having cancer because your brain is in so much alert that is giving you so much pain. So like that's the thing. Like there's so many people in disability that they don't know this word that it might be this that they have and they have been in pain for 6 or 7 years. So because I felt that pain, I was like, oh my God, this is like UTI, like, but in triple, like horrible, horrible experience. But
Yeah, yeah, and
yeah.
that's actually highlighting too this idea that when people think the pain is so severe, people mistakenly say, "There's got to be something wrong with me. The pain is so bad."
Hmm.
For the ER, like you did, but that's actually a sign that it's not likely to be something in your body because that's not how pain typically works unless you had a severe injury. So
Hmm.
more likely
Exactly.
to be your mind or your brain when it's out of whack, it's too intense, it's too high. It's called sensitization. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got onto the process and it's so awesome to see where you are now, Andrea. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy. Like I went back to the gym. I'm like exercising on my Peloton every single day. Like I'm more happy than never before. So everything happened for a reason. And honestly, like it was ex an experience, but I got over it with and it made me stronger too because now I think like, okay, I got over it. So like anything that happened, I'm gonna heal. So it's gonna be fine. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of doing the work. It's not like the first time when you got over the back pain. It just sort of happened when you got reassured that you were going to be fine, but you had no idea of what was going on. Now you understand it. So anything that comes in the future, right, you'll be ready for it. You'll be able to work through it. And I think that's the massive piece of learning here that you bring with you. You're stronger. You're stronger in your mind. You understand this now.
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone out there, like you should believe this work, like you should go through like Jim is saying, because even the injuries are gonna heal. Like it doesn't really matter if you hurt your back, it's gonna heal. Like, yeah, it's just the matter that you believe that you're gonna be fine. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well
my
said. I
message.
think we'll finish on that note. Believe that you're going to be fine because you are fine. And I
Yeah.
think I told you that 1,000 times, but it takes time for your brain to learn that. And I think that's what you just essentially did over time. So I'm so happy for you. And I'm
Me
happy you
too.
came on to share your story with the audience. And any parting words for everybody before you go?
Well, no, nothing. Like I said before, just believe in this work that believe in you too. Like and it doesn't matter if you're like in pain, like just enjoy life and suddenly it's gonna disappear, it's gonna fade away. Like what happened to me. One day, like it just went away because I didn't care anymore. So
That's the
yeah,
key. I believe
that's
in
my
that note.
message.
We're not fixing anything, right? That won't
Hmm.
work. It fades away.
Yeah.
That's the right word. It's going to fade away on its own. Maybe you don't even realize it one day. It just starts to go away. And it's so different than what people think. I got to do something to fix it. No, no. It just goes away as you start getting back to life and realizing you're okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my final message to
Final word.
everybody
Good
out
words.
there.
Words of wisdom. Thank you so much again
Yeah.
for being here, Andrea.
Thank you,
We'll catch
James.
you down the road. Okay. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.